Hello everyone! Welcome to Earth and Life Science. I am Mrs. Princess G. Mosca Caleja, SHS Teacher 2 of Santa Rosa National High. What are you waiting for? Join me as we unveil our lesson for today. In our vast universe of unimaginable size and age, with a spiral galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, billions of years old. Among all the immense nursery of stars that can be seen in the universe, which is rich in elements of creation, our star was born. From the different heavenly bodies in the solar system, in the universe, asteroids from the forge of its infant solar system, at just the right distance from the sun, our Earth, the new planet, was born. Wherein this planet is the only planet that can cater every living thing, every individual, and it is called the Gaia, the planet Earth. It was a hot, violent world, barren and lifeless. It was a world of water and fire, toxic gases and smoke, but something magical happened to Earth to change all of that. The beginning of life, the origin of all living things, the origin of life. From unicellular to multicellular, from the presence of the dinosaurs and other living organisms from the past, at present and in the future, all living things are in our planet. The planet Earth caters all these living individuals, from the most basic to the most complex. But how did life begin on Earth? How did we get from this to this? Was life born as random combination of atoms? Or did life come from Earth, from this space long ago? Was the Earth and its life created by God? Come and join me and let's explore the origins of life. Okay, hello then again, grade 11. We are now in week 4 in Earth and Life Science. And I'm here again to tackle the different lessons that we will discuss in this week. But let us first know our learning competency. First, describe what is genetic engineering and its processes. Identify the different types of genetic engineering and give examples of each type. 3. Give some uses of genetically modified organisms. And 4. Compare and contrast the advantages and disadvantages or risks of genetically modified organisms. We will also discuss moral issues that beset genetic engineering. So let us now proceed to our lesson. genetic engineering, and genetically modified organisms. Genetic engineering is also called genetic modification, which is one of the many branches of applied biology. It is the changing of an organism's genome using biotechnology. So in this lesson, we will discuss the basic concepts on genetic engineering and identifying some of the genetically modified organisms. The history of genetic engineering can be traced back in 1953, when James Watson discovered the structure of DNA, after which scientists were able to understand, take note, it was traced back 1953 when James Watson discovered the structure of DNA, after which scientists were able to understand and change the structure. So the idea of genetic engineering is something that we associate with the 20th century, and no one knew that genes were actually the mechanism of heredity until the middle of the 20th century. The direct modification of genes for some purpose did not even start until the 1970s. But it is worth noting that human beings have been, in some ways, influencing the genetics of organisms for a very, 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 very long time. As one of the greatest technological breakthrough in science, we're going to demonstrate an understanding and the concept of genetic engineering. So, let us now explore our own imagination and express our creativity as you create your imaginary about genetically modified organism. This way, one will come to appreciate the effort exerted by our scientists in producing only the best organisms with desirable characteristics. So let's have a simple activity. List the names of all the members in your family. Ask them the following questions. Record their responses as either yes or no. So these are the things you're going to ask to the members of your family. 1. Can you roll your tongue? Nabali-baliktad mo ba yung dila mo? So ask them, yes or no. Do you have naturally straight hair? Straight ba yung buhok mo? Hindi mo ba yan pinareband? Natural straight ba yan? Or kulot yan, tapos pina-straight mo. So, it should be naturally straight hair. You ask them, yes or no. Do you have brown eyes? Pilipino ka ba, pero hindi brown yung eyes mo? Medyo may halong Amerikano o ibang lahi. So, yon. 4. Do you have attached earlobes? So, earlobes, yung pinaglalagyan mo ba ng hikaw mo nakadikit dyan dito sa mukha mo, sa gilid ng mukha mo. Okay? O nakahiwalay ba siya? 5. Do you have good vision? You can see without eyeglasses. Malinaw ba ang paningin mo kahit wala kang salamin? So, these are the things you're going to ask to your parents or to all the members in your family. And I want you to fill in the table. After you have asked the questions, record their responses in the following table as you can see on the screen. List the name of the family member. For example, me. Princess Jimoska, can you roll your tongue? No. Naturally straight hair? Yes. Has a brown eyes? Yes. Attached earlobes? No. Good vision without glasses? Yes. So that is what you're going to do. Record the responses of all the members in your family. And after you ask or list down their responses, ask this question or answer this question. What trait or traits is dominant among the members of the family? So write down your answer. 2. What trait or trait is less expressed among the members of family? 3. Are there any not likable or not desirable traits in your family? Think of the other traits not listed above. It may be physical, emotional, behavioral, or other aspects of personality. Lastly, 4. Is it possible to modify the traits that you have written in number 3? In what way can it be done? So answer these questions. Take note, you're going to pass this one. Okay. Genetic engineering. When you say genetic engineering, it is the process of adding a foreign DNA to the genome or all genetic material of another organism. When we say genetic engineering, it is not natural. There are scientific intervention. Meaning, minomodify na ang genetic material ng isang organism because you want to modify something out of that organism. So, that is what we call genetic engineering. The target of adding one or more DNA is to have one or more traits that are not found in a certain organism. For example, you do not have this trait. Meaning, because of genetic engineering, they're going to add one or more DNA in order for you or for that organism to have this trait that cannot be found in it or in you. So that is what we call genetic engineering. It can also be a process of inserting or transferring gene of a specific trait into another organism. So clear? Biotechnology. Gaya ng sabi ko kanina, biotechnology is the use of biological techniques and engineered organisms to make products or plants and animals to have desired traits. In order to carry on this technology, it employs different processes. So these are the different processes. We have here recombinant DNA technology, gel electrophoresis, restriction enzymes, gene cloning, DNA sequencing, polymerase chain reaction. So these are the different processes. Let us start with the restriction enzymes. When we say restriction enzymes, which is the cutting of the DNA strands into fragments. It is basically used to create DNA fragments with sticky ends or blunt ends that can join with other DNA fragments. So if you want to modify something, ginagawa nila ito in order to join another DNA from another DNA. So magkaibang DNA, nagdidikit na sila together. We call that one as restriction enzyme. We also have gel electrophoresis. Gel electrophoresis separates DNA fragments by size. It is used to study DNA fragments of various size. We also have here gene cloning. Gene cloning is the production of the large number of identical recombinant DNA molecules. It is used to create large amount of recombinant DNA to be used in genetically engineered organism. So these are just some processes. We also have the DNA sequencing. DNA sequencing. DNA sequencing is used to identify the DNA sequence of cloned recombinant DNA molecule to further study. It is also used to identify errors in the DNA sequence to predict the function of a particular gene and to compare to other genes with similar sequences from different organisms. So we call this one as DNA sequencing. We also have what we call the polymerase chain reaction or the PCR, which make copies of specific regions of sequence DNA. It is used to copy DNA for any scientific investigation, including forensic analysis and medical testing. So PCR are used by NBI in order to determine whose DNA is that. We also have the recombinant DNA technology. So when we say recombinant DNA technology or rDNAT, it is a technique of combining two DNA sequences from different sources. So it is a combination of a DNA fragment with the DNA from another source, and this is also called as the exogenous DNA. One goal of this technique is cloning or producing a particular gene for analysis or mass production of a medically useful protein product. Example, kapag diabetic ka, you are dependent with insulin, right? So, saan sila kukuha ng insulin in order to support you? They use this technology to produce insulin. How? Yung DNA na may trait nito, kukunin nila, mag-a-undergo ito ng recombinant DNA, tapos i-inject nila sa bakterya para paramihin. At dadami yung bakterya, meaning dadami din yung trait na may insulin, which could support you na may diabetic. This technique uses a plasmid, usually from a bacteria, as a vector or delivery vehicle of desired trait, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina. Plasmid, ano ba yung plasmid? Plasmid is a small, circular, double-stranded DNA molecule, roughly 1,000 DNA base pairs to hundreds of thousands of base pairs. Hindi kagaya ng sa tao na may million of base pairs, kaya they use bacteria in order to produce more proteins. It is inserted with the gene or segment in the DNA that contains the desired trait. A plasmid is a small circular double-stranded DNA molecule. When a bacterium divides, all plasmids contained within the cell are copied such that each daughter cell receives a copy of each plasmid. Take note. In other terms, sabi dito, ang technique na to gumagamit ng plasmid na nanggaling sa bakterya. So, sa bakterya, tatanggalin nila yung plasmid na kung saan doon nila ilalagay yung DNA na may trait. Okay? Yung DNA na gusto mong lagyan ng trait. Tapos, yung plasmid may trait na yun, di ba? May DNA na yun. Again, ilalagay na naman nila ulit yung plasmid sa bakterya para magparami. Okay? Because bacteria will grow in multiple times. Will reproduce multiple times. So, yan yung recombinant DNA na sinasabi. They uses bacteria to make a copy or make more copy. Kasi yung bacteria, mas mabilis na dumami. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, we have here insulin production. Scientists identify the segment in the DNA where synthesis of insulin is encoded called insulin gene. They use an enzyme to cut the insulin gene out of the DNA strand. Plasmid as container of the gene is removed from a bacterium. Plasmid is cut open. Insulin gene is inserted into the plasmid. Enzyme ligase affixes the insulin gene in the plasmid. And plasmid is inserted back to the bacterium, and the bacterium will multiply and the insulin production happen. So, pag dumami yung bacteria, dadami din yung insulin na maproproduce. That is because of recombinant DNA technology. We also have the different type of genetic modification. We have here plant genetic modification, animal genetic modification, and genetic modification of microbes. Let us start with the plant genetic modification. This is the easiest method of plant genetic modification, used by our wandering ancestors and until today, is simple selection. That is, genetically heterogeneous population of plants is inspected and superior individuals. Plants with the most desired traits like improved palatability and yield are selected for continued propagation. So we have here production of pest-resistant plants and the increase of crop production. Next is the animal genetic modification. Modern breeds of livestock differ dramatically from their ancestors as a result of breeding strategies. Established and emerging biotechnology in animal agriculture include assisted reproductive technologies, use of natural occurring hormones such as recombinants, and biotechnologies to enhance reproductive efficiency without affecting the genome, and biotechnologies to enhance expression of desirable genes. Example, increase of milk production per cow. Another one, double production of eggs in chicken. So see, genetic modification or genetic engineering is very helpful. We also have the genetic modification of microbes. Microorganisms play significant roles in food production. They serve as primary and secondary roles in food fermentation and in food spoilage, and they can produce enzymes or other metabolites used in food production and processing. Humans have used and genetically modified microbes for centuries to produce food, wine, bread, and cheese are common examples of ancient foods. Still popular, depend on microbial ingredients and activities. Example, the increased microbe-dependent food production. We also have increased human immunity or resistance to microbe-caused diseases. So those are the different types of genetic modification. Aside from these things, we also have the advantages of genetic modification or genetic engineering, the benefits. One of the main reasons why scientists conduct this technology is to provide and sustain human. The modern practice of genetic engineering goes beyond crossbreeding different species to create new outcome. There are many advantages that genetic engineering can bring to the world today. One of it is make agricultural practices much safer by reducing, if not totally eliminating, the use of pesticides. This will result in creating greater yields since farmers will no longer spend extra money for pesticides. No use of pesticides would lead to improved growth rate of crops and consequently create better food products. It also allows specific traits to be developed for plants and animals. Another benefit, it can improve resistance to diseases and even stop genetic diseases in humans. We already have genetic testing in place to test for certain cancers. This could be used DNA manipulation to help treat or cure people who are born with genetic disorder. The different tools of genetic engineering could produce novel medical treatments like vaccines, insulin, and even hormone treatment. Through GE, we can create more treatments that allow us to be proactive more often against pathogens that can have life-threatening characteristics. So, this is very now timely. Why? Because they can also use this one in order to create vaccine to our present or recent pandemic, which is the COVID-19. So, if this is successful or the making of vaccine for us to be resistance in the COVID-19 will be successful, we will be safe and go back to the normal. Okay? So genetic engineering is very important. Meaning scientists that going or the scientists that undergo or making and modifying organisms, etc., must be very skilled enough, because if not, their projects will be in a waste. Okay? So, dapat magaling ka. Dapat alam mo yung ginagawa mo. At dapat positive. Okay? Aside from the benefits, we also have the disadvantages. There are also disadvantages that genetic engineering can bring, like amount of diversity that is available is limited. The reason for this is the industry will focus on the product or organism that performs well. Another disadvantage, it is prone to technological abuse. Currently, we have laws and treaties in place to prevent genetic engineering abuse. However, that does not mean that abuse and use will not occur. The next disadvantage in the genetic engineering process can only be copyrighted in the United States. A role that genetic engineering DNA sequences can be patented. That makes the rule more profitable for organizations to study DNA manipulation instead of working for the good of humanity. Another disadvantage is it can bring difficult legal liabilities with unintended consequences. Seeds and crops can also be patented. This brings issues for farmers who encounters GMOs under land due to unintentional spread. Genetic engineering does create a natural barrier against disease and harsh environmental conditions. It is also just extend the resilience of plants and animals. The changes made are not permanent benefits. More modifications are required over time because nature eventually adapts. Pathogens become stronger to affect the stronger plants and animals. Our own experience with medicine that we take, like antibiotic, is an evidence to this fact. So meaning, dito sa genetic modification or genetic engineering, even though, for example, you are resistant to pests or bacteria, meaning these pests and bacteria will also be immune to that genetically modified organism, and later on, it will invade the modified organism because these pests and bacteria will become stronger. Gaya ng sabi dyan, just like our experience with medicine that we take like antibiotic. Our body will be immune into that kind of medicine. And later on, pag nagkasakit na naman ulit tayo, at yun din ang iinumin natin, there is a tendency that hindi na niya kayang, anong tawag doon? It will not help you to remove that illness already kasi na-immune na yung sakit sa'yo or na-immune na yung sakit sa gamot na yon. That's why my motto, do not depend on medicine. Just drink a lot or plenty of water. Water therapy lang tayo pag nagkasakit tayo, okay? So that is all about genetic engineering and genetically modified organism. Okay, so to learn more about genetic engineering, I have here an additional information about it. But before that, let us know first what is biotechnology. When we say biotechnology is a general term used to describe the modification of biological processes through human intervention. So, as you can see, the human intervention. This may be done through genetic engineering, aimed at improving traits of a certain organisms. They can choose and isolate a single gene for a desired trait and transfer such gene from one organism to another. So they're going to isolate that single gene and transfer it from one organism to another. The recipient organism becomes what is called a GMO or a transgenic organism. Genetic engineering is also known as genetic modification. It is the science of identifying, isolating, and altering the genes. As you can see on the illustration, the introduction of a gene from one organism into another is what we call recombinant DNA technology. To isolate a gene, scientists use a technique what we call the gene splicing. The organism bearing the recombinant DNA is referred to as genetically modified organism or the GMO. We also have applications of genetic engineering. Scientists have explored ways of genetic modification to give desirable characteristics of food crops. So, their main modification was explored in foods. Through genetic engineering, we have produced plants that are 1. Resistant to insecticides and to drought. So even without water, most of the plants are already or are able to grow. Fruits and vegetables with improved taste, texture, size, and color. So these are examples of vegetables that been undergo to that process. 3. Grains with improved protein and contents. Among the GM foods successfully produced include the tomato to improve taste and the seedless watermelon. Tomatoes and cantaloupes with modified ripening characteristics, protein-enriched potatoes are all examples of GMO foods. Corn with enriched lysine